All right, good morning and welcome to our monthly Power Hour, the HRC Ordnance Branch podcast. I'm Master Sergeant Villanueva, the Ordnance Proponent L&L and Senior Career Advisor at the Ordnance Branch. Today we will be discussing the differences in roles and responsibilities of a talent manager and a career manager. In the studio with me today is Sergeant First Class Murphy. She is the CMF 94 Talent Management NCO with Ordnance Branch at HRC, and we have a special guest on the phone to help us with this discussion, Sergeant First Class Hept. He is a CMF 91 Career Management NCO at the Proponent Office in Fort Lee, Virginia. At this moment, I will pass it off to Sergeant First Class Murphy and Sergeant First Class Hept for brief introductions.
Good morning, I am Sergeant First Class Murphy. As mentioned, I'm the CMF 94 Talent Management NCO. I've been at HRC now for roughly 6 months. Been in the Army for almost 17 years. I've been a drill sergeant. I've done WACA. I've pretty much done all my broadening assignments, my operating assignments, and now I'm here at HRC. Sergeant Hept.
Hey, good morning. I'm Sergeant First Class Hept. So I'm a 91 Alpha by trade. I have been here in the PDO office for almost 3 years now. I transition out at the end of this week to take on a new assignment. But I have done just about everything as well, from team chief to motor sergeant to training developer to platoon sergeant, and moving on to the ALU branch chief position.
Okay, awesome. Yes.
Back to you, Sergeant.
So we got a plethora of experience here with us today, and Sergeant Hept, I know you're busy over there, so thank you for taking time out to help us with this conversation. Sergeant Murphy, we'll begin with you. Can you please talk a little bit about some of your roles and responsibilities as a talent management NCO here at the Ordnance Branch?
So basically, we monitor and manage the worldwide assignments to ensure career paths and professional growth of our service members. It doesn't matter if you are a non-commissioned officer or a junior soldier. We do both. So it just doesn't apply to the seniors or careerist non-commissioned officers. I also screen the NCOs for drill sergeant, instructors, recruiters, the OCs, which are the observer controllers, IG positions, and other nominative assignments. As I mentioned, I've been to White House communications agencies, so I can give you basically the ins and outs of what I can give you of the WACA assignment as a 94, just to give you a general overview. We also advise the soldiers for professional development and duty assignments, preferences in ASCA market, which is new. It's currently new. Well, it's like 2 years old now, I think. So, and a lot of people still have not been in the ASCA market. So we do the road shows and go to installations and explain what the ASCA market is and how it works and what your preferences are. Let's see. So I also identify NCOs to move. Well, myself and the assignment managers, I have 2 of them for the 94s. We identify service members that need to move based on the Army's readiness requirements, which are now based on the ASCA model. And then we also go by their YMAV, which is the year, month, available dates. And those are on your ASK assignment management key, or yes, that's the assignment management key. And you'll normally move about 36 months after you arrive on station, but your marketplace will open about 12 months before you're due to move. We also help facilitate the assignments for our reclassing service members. Once we know they are graduating and their graduation date, we look to see what the needs of the Army are and get them ready to move to their next duty assignment.
Okay, Sergeant Murphy, great explanation and description of your roles and responsibilities as a talent management NCO here at the Ordnance Branch. Now we'll pass it off to Sergeant First Class Hept as for his career manager roles and responsibilities at the Proponent Office.
Hey, thanks, Master Sergeant. So really, we take the input from the chief of ordnance, right, Sergeant Major Ordnance, and then the chief warrant officer of ordnance, and we make sure we align with their priorities and then provide the basis and the guidance for the talent manager there at HRC. And so what I'm talking about is updates to DAPM 600-3, which is your officer DAPAM, and then 625, which is really the living document that the NCOs should be very familiar with. And we really lay out, we update that as much as possible, but we really lay out what you should be doing as far as education-wise, civilian education and military, positions, follow-on assignments, really a holistic look at their entire involvement with being an NCO at whatever rank in MOS. And then so in addition to that, DAPAM 61121, also a smart book, all found on MilSuite. We update that as well as needed, and that's really where your physical requirements are for each MOS. Your line scores, GT score, we update that in conjunction with and input with a bunch of other entities in order to make sure that we are capturing the best audience for what we would like to see out of the Ordnance Corps. In addition to that, we update the PDM. We review that, the personnel development model. We look at promotion analysis. We also, off of 625, we update ACT career maps. So every year, and then ours were just updated last month. We go through and we update the career maps to give a better snapshot to soldiers across the force for those pinpoint and career progression assignments. We also look at NOFCs, so notification of future changes. So like if your MTO's changing because a force design update came through. So some of the things that come to mind is when we were talking about div cav units, or when we went to the DSBs and DSSBs. Those were all FDUs that came through that we in this office review to make sure that our rank structure looks correct, right? So standards of grade, when we're talking about how many soldiers you have to your E5 sergeants, to how many staff sergeants or sergeant first class, and that managerial role as a team, we make sure all that follows standards of grade, which we also do in the office. Transitioning for soldiers, right? So cool, credentialing opportunities online for the Army. Our office updates that annually. We go through and we make sure that all the credentials, and currently there's about 270 of them across just CMF 91. When we're looking at relevant and importance, we annually update that. And if it's no longer valid or something that's not added to, we remove that as well. We look at Soldiers for Life program when we're looking at some of the transitioning programs like Ford and GM have. We are included in that. And then your credentialing education, your degree programs, right? So we really look at and advise with partnerships with colleges in order to maximize your Army schooling for college transitions. And then lastly, we also do and manage the TWI program, right? So all of our partners, we annually look at the relationships, the relevancy, and we broadcast and pick and select the best candidates for those positions for the next year as well.
Wow, thank you for that very detailed description. You guys have a very broad scope of roles and responsibilities on how you impact the ordnance soldier on a daily basis. So just to kind of go and kind of paraphrase a little bit, so from what I'm hearing, the talent management NCO is focusing, advising, soldiers on worldwide selection of assignments by ensuring their preferences and the ASCM marketplace align with the professional development model that you're actually working on over at the proponent office, and the career management NCO kind of executes the development and management of the Ordnance Corps enlisted population by providing insightful updates to doctrine and personnel programs that impact the professional development for the Ordnance soldier. So kind of from what I'm seeing, it's kind of like the talent management NCO that is working here at HRC. Not only are they managing the requirements that are needed to continue to develop our soldiers, but you guys, the talent management NCO is more of like the face to the field that's actually building that relationship with every soldier that's coming for a marketplace and is needing that professional development. And the Career Management NCO is kind of driving some of the things that the Talent Management NCO would be looking at for selections for these assignments, but you're kind of doing it more behind the scenes through doctrine and other venues of approach to help the enlisted population. Is that something fair that you guys would agree on? So
Absolutely.
So Master Art, I would 100% agree with that, and really, we're the go-between, right? So as you said, we're driving the force. So we really, it's not, so our first class Hept sitting in the corner and saying, this is where I want the Ordnance Corps, or this is what I want a 91 Alpha to be. It's really the advice and the guidance that we receive from the Chief of Ordnance, right? The Sergeant Major of Ordnance, and really drive to meet their vision, but all at the same time making it a obtainable goal for these soldiers and are obtainable within their reach, and not something crazy that the talent manager there at HRC can't fulfill.
Okay, yeah. So definitely some commonalities in the goals, just a little bit of a different manner of actually achieving it when it comes to the actual task that's being executed by each role.
And just because Sergeant Hept is on the phone doesn't mean that I do not talk to a proponent. I'm on the phone with Master Sergeant Mackin almost every day to make sure we are on the same page and we're fulfilling the roles that ordnance proponent needs, and as well as what the Army needs. Good
insight, because that shows us that there's definitely the partnership between the HRC Ordnance branch and the proponent office for Ordnance career management. That communication is established between everyone. So no, that's great insight. Is there any, from the talent management perspective, is there any frequently asked questions that you get phone calls with from soldiers on a pretty much probably daily basis that you would like to address here?
The most frequent one is when does my YMAV open? So if anybody emails me, I have the actual calendar of when the YMAV, when your YMAV opens or when your marketplace opens. It shows when it opens, when it closes, and I think it's the mid-market. What we suggest to everybody is that you go, once your marketplace opens, check weekly, if not daily, and you don't have, and it's not first come, first serve. Just log in, make your preferences, and preference every single duty assignment that's on there, because for whatever reason, something may fall off or come back into the marketplace, and you need to have everything preferenced. But with the dates, they don't really shift. We post them on our ordnance group, and then there are other Facebook groups that also post them. HRC even has them on their website. So if there is a change, it's going to be on HRC's website. The next one is, can I slot you for professional military education? I cannot. That is not what your assignment managers or your talent management NCO does. That is actually through a whole different division. They will slot through ALC, SLC, and MLC, and your local installation will slot you for BLC. You can always ask us for the POC, but again, it is also on the HRC website. There's a plethora of information on the HRC website, including the MILPER messages. HRC Facebook page actually has MILPER Monday, where all the new ones come out. And then if you need to search for old ones or previous ones, you can just go in the search bar and just put in like common words or keywords of your MILPER that you need, and you'll be able to find it. We have no problem answering any of the questions. Those are just like basically ones we get almost every day, more frequent questions, but we are always here to answer your questions. Don't ever think that it's a dumb question or it shouldn't be asked. You can always email me, send me a thing on Teams. I will totally answer. If I need to do some more digging around, I will always respond back, hey, just give me a day or two. Also, there's things that we can do and help as far as can we look at your records? Absolutely, we can look at your records. We can see where you need to go if you need to do a broadening assignment, become an instructor or something different than what you are doing. Or see how, and then everybody asks about the MOP score. The MOP score did sunset, so that is now the OML. So once you are boarded, you get your OML, and then we can kind of tweak and see where you need to go professionally from there. If there's sections that maybe you need more development on, or things like that. But we are always here to help. Please email us, please call us at your Talent Management NCO for your CMF. They're always willing to help, and we will respond. But those are the main frequent questions that we get.
Okay, great. Sergeant Hept, is there any like frequently asked questions you get with your role as a career management NCO over at Proponent, that anything that you would like to address during this time?
Absolutely. So we get several questions, and so most of them are related to say like ACT, right? There was a stint where they were not updated. ACT career maps were not updated, but those are all addressed, and that's not all inclusive, right? So one of the things we get is, oh, well, my MOS only has one broadening assignment. I assure you, there are more than one broadening assignments for all the MOSs, but a lot of them lead to MOS immaterial ones. So just because your career map doesn't say a specific assignment that you heard about through the grapevine, it's not all inclusive. Where it is inclusive is when you go into Mill Suite, right? You log into Mill Suite, you can search in the search bar 600-25, click on the 91 or the 94 or the 89 CMF Smart Book, and really dabble into the inclusiveness of your MOS. And so in there, we break down by MOS, by rank, what you should be trying to achieve, right? And I'm just going to give you a quick quote out of it, and this is out of Insert Any MOS, but there are many educational paths for lifelong learners, and there may be soldiers who elect to earn a trade certification in lieu of a college degree. While there is great premium on leaders who have earned or are working towards a college degree, the Ordnance Corps equally values credentialing, senior and master level certifications, Department of Labor certifications, which is your U.S. MAP program, ASCs, to include the TWVs, all of which are desired certification, which is largely a technical trades cohort. So though that is almost verbatim what is also provided for board guidance for the staff sergeant and sergeant first class evaluations. So all these documents are used as you go through your career.
No, that's great that you mentioned that. You know, here as the proponent LNO, I personally get a lot of phone calls, and I get asked to review soldiers' records and advise them on what they should do with their careers, and that's exactly what I do. I go to 600-25 to that MOS, and I go through everything paragraph by paragraph, and I do a comparison with their record and see where they can improve, where they've lacked, where they need some more time, development in certain positions. And I look at their SRBs, their IPERMs, I cross-reference everything just to make sure that they are getting, sound advice on where to go. But yeah, that is always that's the best starting point is, 600-25.
And really, in 625, so let's insert an ABCT, for example, right? In Bravo Company, the first sergeant position is a 94 CMF position. And so really, if you are in charge of a bunch of MOSs or another CMF that you're not familiar with, 625 is also a great starting point to learn what those soldiers in your charge need to do, or some guidance to provide them as well.
Okay, that's great. Okay, kind of moving on from the frequently asked questions, but now kind of pushing into some, maybe as a talent management NCO, Sergeant Murphy, is there any trends, highlights, or just something, any updates or radar, that may be on the radar upcoming soon that you would like to highlight for the force?
EFMP updates is a big one. Please make sure that you update your EFMP. This makes sure that you're ready and your family is ready to move when your marketplace opens. The MACP, Married Army Couples Program, make sure that it is in the system. Sometimes we have to move soldiers, but they are actually married. But we do work with the other proponents or other CMFs to try and make sure that we get your spouse there with you and that you are moving with the same time. We even do in other services. We've been working with some Air Force and Navy spouses to get them all moved at the same time. So we do really try hard to make sure that we are moving the service members together. We do know how hard it is to move a whole household to a different place, so we do actually really try hard. Broadening assignments. Everyone wants to know about broadening assignments. Drill sergeant, instructor, recruiter, those are the big ones, and if you get an opportunity to do these, don't shy away from them. I was one that wanted to shy away from being a drill sergeant, and it became probably my best duty assignment besides HRC. But you got to mentor your soldiers that are going to replace you one day. Yes, there are some long hours, but it's very beneficial to you and your soldiers. Recruiting, you are the face of the Army. You're the first ones that they meet. Don't shy away from it. You can do great things for the Army and make sure that we have the right people coming into the Army. And then also, like I said, WACA, I will always be a big proponent of WACA, White House Communications Agency for the 94s. 94 Echoes can go there, 94 Fox, and then 94 Whiskeys, and I believe they have a Zulu position as well. You can find those links on my signature block, or you can always Google DISA, DISA, and they will pop up as well to put in a packet for one of those broadening assignments at White House Communications. But those are the main highlights and the trends. Just like if we ask you if you want to be a drill sergeant or a recruiter, don't shy away from it. I promise you it's very beneficial and you are going to get something out of it.
Yeah, Sergeant Murphy, you definitely said a few things that I kind of wanted to jump in on and interject. And I'll definitely probably add to here at the end, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to let Sergeant Hept kind of give an update, see if there's any trends and highlights and updates that he would like to put out there, because I believe after what you've said, and I know that Sergeant Hept will add some value here as well. I think it'll all kind of tie in together. So Sergeant Hept.
Yeah, so really, and I read that paragraph out of 625 because that is one of the biggest updates that we made this past year to 625 is defining that while college is important, the ordnance leaders, and we do recognize that certifications through COOL was the trend, right, for soldiers to go through and made that transition easier. And so what we wanted to do was highlight that it is as important, and we recognize that you might do that in lieu of using your tuition assistance. You use that credentialing assistance for that. And then additionally, I wanted to add that so staff sergeant key development time, same thing with master sergeant key development time, right? It's 24 months. So that magic number is 24 months. It is critical leader development positions, and those are by MOS, and they're found also in 625, the SMART book, in Chapter 4. So if you go down there, you scroll down, you'll find by rank, by MOS, and you can see what you should be doing. And you need to make sure that in order for you to be successful and continue to move up, the normal trend we see is being in those positions rated no less than 24 months.
Our first class, Hep, thank you for that. I'm really glad you kind of brought up the key developmental time because I think there's definitely a lot of unclarity out in the field as far as whether it's actually required or not. But it's definitely something that every leader out there should be striving for, is to hit that 24-month mark. But one thing that I do want to say and add to that, not necessarily a trend, but since I've been here 6 or 7 months, and I'm going to wait for the new promotion boards to start publishing here in the near future, and the other ones to go ahead and actually happen, to do that analysis. But I was able to do a lot of analysis on the previous promotion boards. And, what I would like to say is, those assignments that Sergeant Murphy's talking about, the drill sergeant, the recruiter, the OCT, OCT, the SFAB, couple those assignments with schools and training and education that garnish you things such as SQIs and ASIs. It really makes a big difference when you start thinking about your career path and moving up. Because the one thing that I can wholeheartedly say is when I did a lot of analysis on the previous boards, is the folks that had these drill sergeant, recruiter, SFAB assignments, but were also given back to the force through MRT, Master Fitness Trainer programs, SHARP programs, and we're also obviously adding things such as credentialing, which is now, extremely important in their education.
So one more thing to add to that is we recognize here in Ordnance that all those additional duties or those additional follow-on assignments for, say, SFAB or when we're talking about the White House Communications Agency, it's not all-inclusive. So not every MOS will be able to apply. However, that's where your talent manager comes in to have that conversation and say, hey, I'm insert MOS. I don't see this opportunity. What else is available to me?
Okay, no, that's great. That's a great add in there. I think this has been very informational for all of our listeners. So we've been able to discuss a few of the differences between the roles of a talent management NCO here at HRC and a career manager at the proponent office, in addition to addressing commonalities, trends, frequently asked questions to each management NCO. Sergeant First Class Murphy and Sergeant First Class Hept, thank you for taking time to be with us today to provide some clarity on how you impact the ordnance population daily. For the listeners, as you can see, both roles of talent management NCO and career management NCOs play a vital role in the development and professional growth of the ordnance soldier. If you have any questions or have a request for additional information or even topics you would like us to discuss in future podcasts, you can reach us by locating our contact information on the HRC Ordnance webpage. You can find the Power Hour with Enlisted Ordnance Branch on various platforms such as DVids, Apple, and Amazon podcast sources. And don't hesitate to reach out to us anytime that you need anything or any guidance. Master Sergeant Villanueva, Sergeant First Class Murphy, and Sergeant Hept signing off. Thank you for tuning in to the Ordnance Branch Power Hour.